Response to the Valley Zoo's claims about Lucy the elephant. Presented by ZooCheck Canada. The Valley Zoo in Edmonton, Alberta is the current home of Lucy, a 34-year-old female Asian elephant. In response to concerns by people from the general public and from animal protectionist groups about the zoo's decision to keep Lucy, despite the fact that Edmonton's climate is inappropriate for elephants, the fact that she is socially isolated, and the fact that she has a tiny enclosure, the zoo recently created a video which they have made widely accessible on their website. Unfortunately, many of the claims in this video are bogus and scientifically unfounded, so ZooCheck Canada decided to make our own video addressing these claims. Claim 1. Lucy lives very well at the zoo because the Valley Zoo is allowed to take her out for walks, so Lucy's quality of life is pretty darn good. No, Lucy's quality of life is not very good. Lucy spends up to 90% of her time shuffling around or standing stationary in her small outdoor enclosure, less than half an acre in size, and in her even smaller indoor barn. She can't walk or exercise naturally. Lucy's outdoor enclosure is barren, with mostly hard earth floors and no vegetation. She has to spend the majority of her time indoors because she is confined at night and during long periods during Edmonton's cold winter weather. Lucy is periodically taken on short, extremely controlled walks, but the distance that she walks is just a tiny fraction of what she would walk in a better, more natural environment. In the wild, elephants are highly active, spending 18 to 20 hours each day foraging, walking, exploring, and socializing. When Lucy's life at the Valley Zoo is compared to the life of her counterparts in the wild, or even to the lives of other captive elephants in more appropriate social settings, her quality of life comes up short in every aspect. Also, Lucy isn't able to socialize and interact with other elephants, which is critical for her psychological well-being. Claim 2. Lucy gets to come out 3 to 4 hours a day to graze, so she is a lucky girl. Not true. Lucy doesn't get out of her enclosure to graze 3 to 4 hours every day. If it's too rainy or cold or the keepers just don't have enough time, Lucy doesn't get to go for her walks. After an analysis of zoo records for 2008, it was revealed that there were 63 days where Lucy did not come out of her enclosure, and on other days she was only brought out for an hour or two, which is a mere 7.5% of her day. Good elephant husbandry systems provide elephants free access to all available space 24 hours a day. For example, if Lucy were kept at one of the U.S. elephant sanctuaries, she could choose to spend all day outside, go on walks with other elephants, or go for a swim. By being able to make her own decisions, Lucy would be able to make a meaningful contribution to the quality of her own life. Right now, however, Lucy's current reality is quite different, and her life is regimented, controlled, and boring. Does Lucy consider herself lucky? Would you? Claim 3. An elephant in a well-cared-for environment is perfectly happy in a much smaller environment, and according to the standards set out by zoo associations, Lucy's needs are significantly exceeded. No, the Valley Zoo does not exceed or even meet the zoo industry's own standards. The Canadian and American Zoo Associations, among others, state that female elephants should not be housed alone and that all elephants should have enough room to exercise. The Government of Alberta's zoo standards state that animals must be kept in appropriate social groups, and by keeping Lucy in isolation, the Valley Zoo is in violation of provincial law. Claim 4. Elephants move mostly to find food. If there is food and water nearby, they will stick around, so they don't always walk 10 to 15 miles per day. Actually, elephants are active for up to 20 hours every day, spending their time engaged in foraging, exploring, digging, bathing, socializing, communicating, and a wide variety of other activities. The Valley Zoo's claim that elephants move mostly to find food is absurd, and it is not supported by the observations of scientists who study elephants. It is well known that wild elephants of all species walk long distances ranging from 3 to 50 miles on an almost daily basis. In fact, an examination of the body structure, behavior, and communication methods of elephants clearly indicates that elephants, perhaps more so than any other animal, have evolved to travel over long distances. Not only does walking keep their feet trim and healthy, it maintains musculatory and circulatory fitness, and the varied landscapes they walk through provides mental stimulation and adds richness to their lives. Elephants move for a wide variety of reasons, not just to find food or water. Claim 5. African elephants are more active and need more space but Asian elephants, like Lucy, are less active, so Lucy's enclosure is more than adequate for her needs. No, all elephants, whether African or Asian, are mobile animals that have evolved to move, forage, and explore over large spaces. In the wild, elephants inhabit areas that are several hundred to several thousand square kilometers in size. Elephants experience a dizzying array of habitat types, surface features, textures, sounds, and environmental conditions. They may travel across mountains, valleys, grasslands, forests, along riverbanks, or even through swamps, or a combination of different habitats. Lucy's pen is tens of thousands of times smaller than the smallest known home range of any wild elephant. No matter how you look at it, Lucy's living space is incredibly small for an elephant. Claim 6. Lucy's building was specially designed for her because the exterior is rough, the floors are heated and drained properly, and there is a bed of sand. Lucy's indoor enclosure is poorly designed and does little to satisfy her needs. In fact, the building's original floors were a major factor in Lucy's chronic foot problems because they did not drain properly. About 5 years ago, after years of suffering foot infections, the floors were finally modified. Lucy's indoor space is remarkably small, almost entirely concrete and barren. It's hardly an appropriate place for an elephant. Claim 7. Lucy does very well in the cold, even in temperatures of -15 and -20 degrees Celsius. Lucy is an Asian elephant, and she has evolved to live in tropical and subtropical climates, so Edmonton's long cold winters are not appropriate for her. The temperatures in Lucy's original wild habitat of Sri Lanka range between a low of 16 degrees Celsius to 32 degrees Celsius. It is clear that Edmonton's winters are considerably colder than her native habitat. Claim 8. Lucy has the opportunity to choose whether she goes outside or stays inside, but if the weather is very hot or very cold, she spends more time indoors. It is most likely that Lucy chooses to stay inside when it is cold out because she is uncomfortable in such cold temperatures. Her outdoor enclosure offers few opportunities for Lucy to obtain shade or to cool off. She doesn't have a deep pool or pond to swim in, mud baths for rolling and wallowing, bushes and trees to stand amongst, or the shade of a forest. All she has is a barren concrete barn. Claim 9. Elephants are well insulated even if they come from warmer climates, so Lucy is adaptable to Edmonton's weather. Actually, elephants are physiologically adapted to live in tropical and subtropical climates as a result of millions of years of evolution. If Lucy was compared to her ancient cold-weather relative, the woolly mammoth, one can see how unsuited Asian and African elephants are for cold-weather environments. Woolly mammoths were larger, covered in long shaggy hair up to a meter long, and had fat deposits under their skin over 8 centimeters thick. Additionally, unlike elephants, they also had numerous glands under their skin which secreted greasy fat into their hair, improving its insulating qualities. When comparing a woolly mammoth to Lucy, it is clear that she does not belong in the Canadian North. Lucy's physiological makeup has not evolved for Edmonton's cold weather. Claim 10. Bathing is a large part of Lucy's routine because it gives keepers a chance to check her feet 3 to 4 times a day, as foot care is very important. Lucy's medical records show that for over a decade she has suffered with the pain of severely swollen feet, toenails lifting off, and chronic draining abscesses. In July 2004, a sharp object was removed from a hole that had grown in the pad of her right foot, and in September 2007, a keeper removed a 2-inch-long stick from a hole that had grown in her left foot. Her foot problems continue today despite the zoo's claims that everything is under control. Lucy's records state that she has ongoing medical issues that will likely continue for the rest of her life, necessitating a daily maintenance routine for her keepers. If Lucy were able to walk on natural ground, exercise properly, and socialize with other elephants, her physical and mental health would improve dramatically. Claim 11. Bathing Lucy is like bathing your child at home. You need to make sure her ears, nails, and feet are clean. Lucy is not a human child. Lucy is an adult elephant who, given the chance as well as the freedom and proper environment, would be able to take care of herself. The Valley Zoo has to take care of her because Lucy is housed in an unnatural and a largely inadequate environment. Wild elephants rarely have ear, nail, or foot problems.